Welcome back. Global investment has emerged as one of the keys to fostering growth at the Investing in African Mining Indaba. Mineral and Petroleum Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe made mention of this while highlighting the uncertain global economic environment. Business anchor Tumisang Ndlovu discussed this further with the UK's Trade Commissioner to Africa, John Humphrey.
Thank you so much for your time, John. Of course, investment is what Africa is looking for. What is the value proposition where investing is concerned in African minerals for the UK?
So I guess the UK in general, of course, it's through our corporates that are really investing in the continent. So of course, companies like Anglo, like Rio Tinto, like Glencore, all have significant UK interests, even if they're not purely UK companies in that sense. And so a lot of our work is to try and work with host governments to facilitate that and sort of, if you like, make the environment right for investing, because I think everybody has that interest.
Absolutely, and that's where the scope of critical minerals comes in. How is that discussion being tabled, particularly with a framework of growing the industry and having a long-term outlook, essentially?
So I think, mining in general, of course, and the minerals, the whole industry is a very long-term industry. I think it takes about 16 years or thereabouts on average for a project to go from exploration to production. So that patient sort of capital is really important. And the UK, I don't know if you know, the UK recently published its critical mineral strategy. And that really sets out for us, how do we secure our supply chains that keep our industry running? And that, I think, very much aligns with African interests in terms of the diversification of the industry, the growth of the industry here in Africa, and of course also local beneficiation, which is very much a hot topic for this conference.
Absolutely a hot topic, and navigating through that topic has to speak of the security as well as safeguarding what we are now moving towards as a globe, the just energy transition. How much of that discourse is taking place?
So I think it's a lot of that discourse, although one of the things that's been made very clear if you've listened to the speeches this morning, and I was here for the ministerial symposium yesterday, was very much to say, we look at it through different lenses, through the energy transition, through agriculture and fertilizer. So there are different ways of looking at it. From our point of view, of course, we're looking at it in terms of our supply chain. How do we ensure that our industries keep going? And of course, as I say, that then feeds into support for investment, so trying to work with governments to make the climate right for investment, but also doing things like technical assistance as well. So we've actually got the British Geological Survey on the stand here, and they're working with a number of governments in Africa to help them improve technical capability to get that base geophysical data, which then allows companies to explore and to find new deposits and what have you to exploit.
As a parting shot for the side of the UK as a government, is Africa still a climate that is conducive for doing business?
Oh yeah, very much so. And in fact, our trade has really grown significantly. So I think overall, in the last set of figures I had, our overall trade with Africa has grown by the best part of 7%. Our exports have grown significantly. What's really interesting for me about our trade, the UK's trade with Africa, is actually remarkably balanced. It's pretty much 50-50. The UK at the moment runs a small surplus, but sometimes it's the other way round. And for example, we're here in South Africa, and South Africa exports quite a lot more to the UK than it imports. And a lot of that, of course, is not just minerals and things like that, but also agriculture as well, very significant from a South African context.
Thank you once again for your time. John Humphrey is the UK Trade Commissioner for Africa, talking to us at the Investing in Mining Indaba for 2026 about the opportunities that lie ahead, particularly in the long term, as growth is what is sought for the global economy within this particular industry. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Tumisang Ndlovu in Cape Town.